What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This video we are looking at the NFL Prize Picks plays for the Sunday slate. Got 6 props loaded in here, all have to do with receiving props. Let's go ahead and get started. As always, if you enjoy the content, appreciate the like button, subscribe if you have not already. Looking for a hopefully a 6 out of 6 would be very nice. At least a 5 out of 6, but we're shooting for 6 out of 6s only in here, so let's get started. Check out links in the description if you want to follow on Twitter. Play on Underdog Fantasy, get some free money when you sign up, or check out the website if you're into DraftKings and FanDuel lineups. So first pick that we are looking at receiving yards is going to be my favorite wide receiver of the whole entire week. Don't see how he has a bad game unless barring injury or anything very unfortunate like that happening. That is Keenan Allen over 85.5 receiving yards. Now with his prop being still pretty low, the fact that it's only 85.5, you can also take his reception at 7.5, coming off a 20 target game. He's probably going to be very safe to get peppered with targets, not having Mike Williams there. Also not having Austin Eckler, who is doubtful, so expect him to miss. Most of the targets, large percentage of them are going to be going to Keenan Allen's way. 85.5 against the Raiders, who have struggled a lot against receivers through the first 3 weeks. They last week we saw the Steelers be able to move the ball against them. They've allowed huge receptions to Calvin Austin. And this week, I think Keenan Allen, in a team that just likes to throw a lot, they barely ran the ball at all last week with Josh Kelly back there. And without Eckler, they're not making much of an effort to run the ball. So we saw Herbert throw 47 times, 20 of those went to Keenan Allen's way, and he caught 18 of them. 86 yards, very doable when they do post Devontae Adams prop. If Garoppolo is in, I think you can take him over as well. I think both receivers are going to have big games. In this one, sticking with the same team, and I'm going Josh Palmer, over 43.5 receiving yards as well. So you're getting a guy that's already proven what he can do in the league. He's had some big plays last year, especially when Keenan Allen missed early in the season, and then Mike Williams also missed some time, and we've seen Josh Palmer step up in those cases. So 43.5 is a great discount for a team that is going to be looking at him, Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston, and Gerald Everett as guys that are going to catch the ball. And if Herbert continues to throw 40-plus times a game, you're going to expect big performances out of these guys. And you're going to expect Palmer's targets to go way up and his snaps to go way up. He's played 64, 54, 61% of snaps through the first 3 weeks. Mike Williams still played 67% before he left the game. So you're expecting a lot of those snaps to go over to Palmer, and I'm expecting him to play 90% of snaps at least this week against the Raiders. So taking both of those guys over their receiving yards. A third one that I like over receiving yards is Jordan Addison. His number is just at 41.5 this week. He's performed really well so far for the Vikings. He's done exactly what they expected. Already has 2 touchdowns. Last week he got it done as well. So through the first 3 weeks, he's cleared this yardage very easily. They haven't posted last week's game for some reason in his recent performances. Maybe that's messing with the algorithm, making him a little bit lower. Actually, the prop is still pretty similar on sportsbooks as well, but you're getting Jordan Addison, who has 61, 72, and then last week he gave you 52 receiving yards. A team that likes to throw a lot with Kirk Cousins. They've had a lot of fumble issues with Madison back there, but they're a team that will still look to throw the ball downfield a lot. And Addison, his snap count has just gone up weekly, and it won't be very long until he kind of takes over and plays more snaps than KJ Osborne. But he played 71% of snaps last week, which is encouraging, and that continues to go up. So I think he can get us 42 yards in this one. Now we're going over to some reception props. There's a few that just look very nice, that are very low, that wouldn't have expected to be. First one that we were looking at is skipped over one that we're going to have. We're going with Mike Evans, over 4.5 receptions. Now, Mike Evans, he's been Baker Mayfield's favorite target through the first 3 weeks. Mike Evans has cleared this number 5 straight weeks, dating back to last season. He cleared it actually 6 of 7 as well. Last week against the Eagles, he got it done with 5 catches, but he had 10 targets. He had a couple of drops early in the game. It was a bit rainy. Maybe that allowed him to not secure the ball like he usually would have. But going back with the Saints, he's had a ton of chemistry with them. Him and Marshawn Lattimore have had their fair share of battles over the years, and expect another one tomorrow, but I'm very, very confident that Mike Evans will get us 5 catches for as much as the Bucs rely on him to get their offense going and how much Baker Mayfield just likes to throw the ball to him. Those are 4 props right there. For our 5th prop, we are taking an over 3.5 catches for Dallas Goedert. Seems very, very, very low for him. He's been very involved in their offense except for that 1 week against the Patriots where he had no catches. But otherwise, Jalen Hurts makes an effort to get Dallas Goedert involved. They're missing their 3rd receiver, Quez Watkins, for the 2nd straight week. Should benefit Dallas Goedert, and Goedert is a tight end that just doesn't really come off the field much at all, so he's always out there. He's not really in there for blocking at all. They brought in Big O from the Broncos to kind of help with that. He's in there to run routes. I think he'll get you 4 catches against the Commanders fairly easily. And for our final prop, we are sticking with the tight ends. And this one, we are going over to Chicago, and we're taking Cole Kmet over 3 receptions. Now, Kmet's another tight end that just doesn't really come off the field much. You have Tunyon back there, so he might take a couple snaps to give him some reprieve, but for the most part, Kmet is there to run routes. Tunyon is there for blocking, and it just hasn't really been a very good season for the Bears at all, to say the least. They've definitely not what they were expecting when they made their offseason acquisitions. However, this is a great spot going up against the Broncos, a team that is terrible defensively. Chicago, they're going to be able to move the ball and put up points. If they can't, then they have a big problem at quarterback. They might already have a problem, but they have a very big offense or a very big problem with their offense, and it's going to be a long season. Expect them to put up some points against the Broncos. I think the Broncos will put up points as well. And Kmet and that offense, they didn't get anything going last week, so a lot of 3 and outs. Fields didn't have many opportunities to throw the ball with how quickly they were just having to punt the ball. So Kmet still got you 2 catches. I think if usually when they get 50 plus per snaps for that offense, Kmet's going to be looking at least 4, 5, 6 targets, and I think you'll convert that to at least 3 catches, especially against Denver's defense. So those are the 6 props that I got for you guys on Prizepicks for this Sunday. Over 85.5 yards for Keenan Allen, over 43.5 yards for Josh Palmer, over 41.5 yards for Jordan Addison, over 4.5 catches for Mike Evans, over 3.5 catches for Dallas Goedert, over 3 catches for Cole Kmet. Other props that you would look to if you want to play some extra ones. If you're playing Keenan Allen over yards, playing Josh Palmer over yards, it makes sense to correlate that with Justin Herbert over yards at 280.5. That would be my go-to at the passing yards over. Looking at the rushing yards over, I have some interest in the Eagles running back situation with DeAndre Swift at his number at 63.5. Eagles have a great offensive line. They're going to be some of the holes that Swift has run in through. Any running back would have had huge games had they been running through the same holes. However, it's good for Swift. He has such a good offensive line to run behind, and he's going to be able to breaking off big runs. So I like him at over 63.5. And I think that you can also take a shot on McCaffrey. Will probably still get it done, even though there's a chance of a blowout. And then we're kind of getting to Monday night games. But Swift would be one that I like a lot. And early games, I would still look to James Cook and Mostert. I think both of those guys are still going to have some good games. And possibly Javonte Williams would be another one to target. But that's what I got for you guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Best of luck, and I will catch you all next time.